Welcome to episode 167 of the 2-Minute Warning. Today I'm going over the Arizona Cardinals and Kyler Murray and whether or not they should be concerned if they're out of the playoffs, what's going on, what's wrong with the Cardinals. They're 6-6. They were the 7th seed last week in week 12 of the NFL heading into week 13. Now week 13 is over. They lost, I don't want to say a close game to Los Angeles Rams. 38-28 was the final score. Rams winning obviously, but it was competitive. And Kyler Murray, although he had a turnover or so and didn't have the greatest game ever and made a couple mistakes, he still made the game competitive. It was in close contention. It wasn't something you didn't want to watch and you just turned the TV off. It was definitely an interesting game to keep up to date with. But now, after they lost to the Rams, they fall to 6-6 and fell out of the current playoff standings, falling to the 8th seed. Minnesota Vikings move up to the 7th seed. But still a lot of football left, about 3 or 4 weeks of football left. They still have time to get back in there. Do I think they will? I don't know. We'll have to go through it. Cardinals' upcoming schedule is the New York Giants. Obviously, the New York Giants, I don't want to say, are a great football team by any means, but they can win games as they just beat Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks this week. So that's definitely not a cupcake game for the Cardinals to just look past and go, we'll rebound against the Giants, because the Giants got a lot of pressure to Russell Wilson, and that's kind of a big reason why the Giants were able to win that game because they sacked him 5 times, forced him to throw a pick, and with Kyler Murray having a injured shoulder, he doesn't really have his mobility. Running the football is a big part of Kyler Murray's game. Maybe not as big as Lamar Jackson's, but running the football is a lot of how Kyler Murray's success is created. I don't want to say he's completely dependent on it. He's a much better pocket passer than Lamar is, but to say he's the same guy without his run game is completely false. He definitely needs a run to create plays, be a playmaker, and be a star. However, he still can get the job done. Being a passer is just not as great by any means. So if the Giants get pressure to him and he loses his mobility again, doesn't have a run game, that's definitely a concern. I do think the Giants can steal one from the Cardinals and making their playoff hopes look out of reach at that point. However, Cardinals do have a better roster all around, so I don't want to say the Giants are going to beat them. I just don't think it's an easy matchup for them to just look over. Week after that, they play the Philadelphia Eagles. Obviously, you have to consider the Philadelphia Eagles a playoff team also, just like the Giants, just because the NFC East division is so bad. Any of those teams are a playoff team technically. But the main thing the Cardinals need to worry about is who they're playing at quarterback. Is it Jalen Hurts? Is it Carson Wentz? That way they can game plan. I do think the Eagles themselves have a better chance if they play Jalen Hurts, just because it gives a new presence, a new leadership, a new spark in that team, just an extra level of motivation, and just everyone likes new. So having a new guy in there just gives you more hype, and it'll just give, I don't want to say the Eagles more to play for, but just a new, like I said, presence in their game, and I do think it could possibly catch the Cardinals off guard. So again, the Cardinals are the better team all around, but it's definitely not a team to just look over and assume will win a cupcake game. It's not by any means. Then, week 16 of the NFL, they play the San Francisco 49ers. Obviously, they're a little banged up, but they're obviously getting healthier as well. They just beat the Los Angeles Rams in week 12 of the NFL, and the San Francisco 49ers play the Buffalo Bills tonight. If the Niners can pull off a win against the Buffalo Bills, between beating Jared Goff and the stacked Rams defense and Josh Allen and the all-around great Bills roster, I don't think the Cardinals are a problem for the 49ers, assuming they're staying healthy and getting their guys back. That is why they're winning. And we all know the 49ers are pretty much the same team as last year as the Super Bowl team they were. They were just held back by injury. So if you get their players back and they're healthy, they're technically, you have to say, Super Bowl caliber. So the Cardinals can't look past them by any means. Like I said, at this point, due to the Niners being unhealthy and having some guys out, the Cardinals are a better football team. But if those guys progress and continue to come back and the Niners get more of the starting players back, it's definitely an issue for the Cardinals. And then week 17, they play the Los Angeles Rams. They just lost to the Rams 38-28. So, in my opinion, they'll lose to the Rams again, assuming the Rams have their starters in. As of right now, the Los Angeles Rams are the 3rd seed in the NFC for the playoffs. And to me, if it comes down to week 17 and they're the 3rd seed and it's locked in no matter if they win or lose, they're going to bench their starters, which creates not an easy win for the Cardinals, but an opening chance for them to win. Aaron Donald will be out, Jalen Ramsey, Jared Goff, their running backs, receivers, so on and so on, creating better opportunity for the Cardinals to win. Like I said, that's only upon the Rams being locked in at the 3rd seed. If their game is on the line, if they're home field advantage. Hope is all on the line. They're obviously going to play the starters, and I think they do. The Cardinals will lose that game in my opinion. So of these next 4 games, I do think the Cardinals have an issue and can't blow off any of these games by any means. Every game counts at this point, for they're in the hunt now. They're not even in the playoffs at this moment. Luckily for them, the Vikings do have a tough schedule themselves, having to play the Bucks and the Saints, and they'll probably lose both of those, giving them 8 losses. So that is some benefit to the Cardinals, and then their last in the hunt competitor would be the Niners, but still they're a wild card. We don't know how healthy they are and how they will do. Their season's kind of on the line against the Buffalo Bills. If they beat them, yeah, they're going to fight for everything, but if they lose, them themselves are kind of out of the playoffs. So a lot on the line. I do think if it comes down to it, if I had to pick, I do think the Cardinals will make the playoffs. However, it is not an easy road. They pretty much need to win 3 out of their next 4 games, in my opinion, if they want to make the playoffs. It's not unlikely, but it's not likely either, so it's kind of a toss-up. I think it'll be easy to determine if they beat the Giants. If they can beat the Giants, I think they'll look good to beat the Eagles and Niners, but if they lose to the Giants, definitely concerns there, and I don't think they'll make the playoffs. But as of right now, if I had to bet today, I think the Cardinals make the playoffs. But at this rate, I think they're definitely a first-round loss. They don't get a win in the playoff. This was a team I thought could be maybe catch Aaron Rodgers off guard, catch Russell Wilson off guard, as they beat him once before. But at this rate, I don't think no matter who they play in the playoffs, unless it's somehow that NFC East division, which it won't be, they will get a first-round loss and a first-round exit of the playoffs. So yes, they'll make it, but not go deep into the playoffs by any means. 2-minute warning.